biggest, we got to talk about what's going on at the Star. Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons, they've been kind of going back and forth. Micah is like sort of holding in. He's got a back injury, which you can maybe tell us a little bit more legitimacy of that, why he's there, but not necessarily doing drills, all that jazz. Jerry has had some comments that we'll listen to here in a second, but it's starting to feel a little uncomfortable to me. Can you walk us through the situation and when we can expect this to maybe be resolved? And do you imagine it's going to get uglier?
Yeah, man. Last year when we started this show, NFL Spotlight, the very first episode was with Levante David. And in that episode, on the back end, we discussed some NFL news. And the NFL news that we had that day was Jerry Jones doing his press conference at Oxnard, California before the start of training camp. And it was similar to this one. Last year, it was Dak Prescott. It was CeeDee Lamb. It was just some hilarious quotes about him and giving money and talking about the 90s of the Cowboys. It was just hilarious. Here we go again this year. It's kind of similar. And this time, it's just Micah Parsons. And once again, it's the same format. Jerry Jones is there. Stephen Jones is there. Instead of Mike McCarthy, we get Brian Schottenheimer now. And essentially, Jerry Jones is just saying stuff that he should not. And here's a perfect example.
Because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
This guy cracks me up, Ari. So good.
It's my favorite press conference every year to tune into this one. It just is, because you never know what to expect. And I'll just say, everything Jerry Jones said there, that is actual stuff that is actually said in negotiations between a team and an agent. That's why you have an agent. It's just not said to the public. And that's basically what Jerry Jones did. And he mentioned 6 games. The fact check, by the way, he only missed 4 games last year. So that's part of it. But Micah Parsons reported to training camp for a number of reasons. Number one, he doesn't want to get fined. It's, he likes his money. Number two, there is a leadership element there in Dallas, which was a very, very big talking point during this press conference that happened the other day. Jerry Jones is very serious about the players that he pays have to become leaders and guides of the team. So Micah Parsons, I think, knew that, and he showed up. And also, Micah mentioned himself, DeMarcus Lawrence is no longer there. I have to fill those leader shoes that he's no longer here. So he's kind of doing that. Now, what's up with the negotiations? Now, Micah actually would love to get a deal done as early as possible. I also believe that the agent and the people representing Micah Parsons are very, very smart people. And they realize that Micah Parsons is probably the best young pass rusher who needs to get paid. So it's actually wise of him to actually wait over here and let the other pass rushers get done first. So we saw TJ Watt get $41 million per year. Aiden Hutchinson is still out there potentially. So because of that, I don't think Micah Parsons' own people are upset about this. I think they're okay with waiting because they know at some point something's going to get figured out over here. But Micah, if it was up to him, he would have loved to get a deal done a long time ago, get it over with. And in fact, as we know, Jerry Jones directly negotiated with Micah Parsons without the agent. And eventually Micah was like, hey, let me get my agent involved in here because I kind of paid 3% for all this. So I think that would make sense. So that's kind of where all of this stands. He is at camp. He's not fully holding in. He is participating in some stuff. He's not participating in all stuff. It's more about protecting his body and making sure nothing crazy happens there. But this is a situation where Dallas does this all the time. They did it with Dak last year. They did it with CeeDee Lamb last year. They take their time. And in some cases, like Stephen Jones said in the press conference, the player also wants to wait to see where the market goes. So that can also be part of the situation over here. But when Jerry Jones is just saying some of this stuff, it's so unnecessary. But like we've learned many times before, Jerry Jones is an entertainer. He loves the attention. He loves the media coverage. He's a believer that all coverage is good coverage. And that's basically what the press conference was. But I don't think it's a situation where everyone is clashing heads right now. I do believe eventually this gets done. And my prediction is it ends up somewhere that $43, $44 million per year.
So then the question becomes, is he waiting for anyone else to get this deal done? Because obviously the TJ Watt deal, $41 million, that reset the market, passing Myles Garrett by that cool $1 million. We already know Trey Hendrickson's not pushing for that number. Is Aiden Hutchinson going to be in that discussion for that $40 million? Or is it really just this deal will get done when it gets done, and when it's done, it will beat TJ and there's nothing else in between?
So my understanding is, like you said, Trey Hendrickson is not going to be in this stratosphere, even though you could make an argument he deserves it. Aiden Hutchinson, from my knowledge, is trying to get into those fours, and those negotiations have been ongoing. So again, going back to the agent over here for Micah Parsons, I think he might be waiting over here to see if something happens with Aiden Hutchinson, because I do believe at the end of all this, the preference over here from the agent who has to do right by the player is to become the highest paid non-quarterback in football history once it's all said and done. We've seen Max Crosby had that title this offseason. Daniil Hunter had it for a second. Then Jamar Chase got it. Or then Myles Garrett got it. Then Jamar Chase got it. Then TJ Watt got it. It keeps on resetting. I think at the end of the entire musical chairs, Micah Parsons people would like for him to be at top, because he is the best player, the youngest player, second bite of the apple, not third by like most of those guys when it comes to contract. So that's the way I look at this, and that is also a big part of it. Aiden Hutchinson, will it happen? Will it not happen? Will he want to do a deal coming off an injury when the team might give you some concerns and hesitancy? Maybe he waits another year. We don't know the full clarity there, but that is also a big part of this as well.